Hello, everybody, and welcome back. In this audio, I'm really inspired to explain what alignment really is and the gravity of it. And really, how doing, fussing, worrying is such a colossal waste of time. Like, I understand, at this point, I understand that people go through their own journey. And in that sense, it's not frowned upon. It's not that. Just understand that there's a better way. So I'm here to give you a shortcut and inspiration. It's not about judgment whatsoever. I'm just here for the people who will listen and take my advice and implement it in their own world and see it really work. You can appease your own human mind and work yourself silly. Now, I don't care what it is. Usually, when you're manifesting something, it's obvious. The idea starts in your mind. The success story that you want to write, the goal that you want to achieve, whatever, the marriage, the business deal accomplished, etc., etc. Okay. Now, irregardless of the things that you want, it's dual. Action is dual, always, in 5D as well as in 3D. Why in 3D? Because inspired action. But here's the deal. The inspired action, don't confuse inspired action with I feel like I have to do this, otherwise, ... Okay, that is not inspired action. This is fearful action kind of situation. Now, of course, parenthesis here, we all know we have our responsibilities. I'm not talking about those. Okay, I'm talking about specific, manifestation that is something new to you. Pay your bills in that sense. I don't want to be ambiguous. Don't take steps that are logically, would not be beneficial to you. Okay, let me just say it like that. But if you are in a conundrum and if you work yourself silly, or if you are very tempted to work yourself silly and go apeshit and go into a spiral, start worrying about things. So understand, like, you can do that, and that's valid, as I've said. The thing is, though, and this is why universe is so impartial, and the reason why people wait, in some cases, for years, for their SP to show up, for their money to show up, for whatever to fucking click in, okay, for something to show up. Because they remain in the other world, in the world of worry. It's just such a simple, such a subtle thing to do. But the alignment of your own being, I'm talking spirit and body and mind, has to be present with your manifestation. I won't go as far as, you have to really just consider it done. Not even that is really necessary, okay? But to seize the worry and to start contemplating what it is that you actually want to hear, what kind of result that you want to achieve, and how easy you allow for it to happen to you, that is something 100% you can start working on immediately, in this very moment in time. So you understand what you're doing. You're aligning yourself with the timeline in which this story, in the next minute, in the next hour, in the next week, whatever it happens to be, tomorrow could be, right? In the next day, will reshape itself, reshuffle itself, but completely in your favor. I just received, why I'm so inspired, I just received a confirmation, yet another gazillionth confirmation of what I am explaining here, okay? And the universe, listen, the universe is so benevolent. You might not appreciate this right now, but the universe is so benevolent, it sometimes makes you wait. What looks like waiting, what looks like universe not delivering your desire, It's simply the universe being so benevolent that it lets you readjust, realign your frequency so that you receive the manifestations only from that timeline. Does this make sense? So, in fact, the waiting is beneficial for you. The waiting is for you to realize, holy shit, bananas, if it is to be, it is up to me. Where am I vibrationally speaking currently? And it's so funny. I know you have examples of your own where you just stop worrying about some shit that you've been expecting, whether that's a phone call or some letter in the mail and this then or some payment coming through, la di da, and boom, it's here. What was that? What happened? You by ceasing to worry again, you stopped being a part of that other shitty, junky timeline in which there's more waiting. Things are against you. You don't get what you want. Not fun, right? But you see how powerful the frequency. So whatever aligns you with, I always get my way, this is no different. I know the universe is on my side. I know my guardian angels are for shit sure on my side. And they're guiding me every step of the motherfucking way towards my victory, whatever it happens to be. Okay, towards the attainment of my goal. See, this warm and fuzzy feeling, before I started recording, this memory came, of all the people, basically, who had near-death experiences, coming back with the same account. Over there on that side, it's also warm and cozy and fuzzy and loving and all of this. This is not just over there. It's also over here. If you allow yourself to experience it, if you allow yourself to be more part of the 5D world, right? And beyond, I mean, there's innumerable dimensions in that sense, but we're using 5D as a representation of imagination, of spiritual realm. This is how I mean it anyway. Rather than being a part of the 3D, and what do I mean by that? Taking any deductions from it or taking it seriously. I'm not saying don't be responsible. No, not at all. But taking it for any kind of cue, what you should be expecting next or what is possible for you, okay? If it's difficult for you to believe that something out of the ordinary can happen to you, let's just say you are manifesting something that has never happened to you. And so you don't have the bank of the memory that has ever happened to you. And in a sense, you might say to me, Anna, I have nothing to draw on. From the bank of my memories, there's no such thing has ever happened to me. I coach people in this department, and all the info is below. If you'd like to be in coaching with me, there's a mandatory video for you to watch before you sign up. Long term, you do need to process your mama drama panorama and your beliefs that literally make you stop from achieving things and from believing things into existence. And then that will be individual. So we can't discuss this here. But temporarily, you can say to yourself something like, but what if I'm able, just by decision alone, just by divine right alone. What is my divine right? That I exist, that I'm breathing, that I'm alive, that I exist, that I will always exist, okay, for all eternity. What if by my divine right, my angels, my higher self orchestrated some kind of a workaround, that I could skip over this challenge, or that somehow magically the circumstances align in my favor? I don't need to worry myself how. I don't need to fret. I don't need to think about and devise the plan. How about the universe can have a glitch in the matrix? Okay? And listen, this works. This works 100% if you let yourself, again, align with this magical energy of, you know what? I don't know how. I don't care how. I don't need to know and care how. I just need to tap into this energy of alignment of like this universe is truly full of magic. I am full of magic. And I simply I'm relearning to remember this power that I have. This power of feeling loved and accepted by the universe and completely being catered to is my own. It was my decision, okay, of my volition, consciously or unconsciously, to go pretend for some time. And listen, yes, I pretended to be less than Tupatu, you could say that. But listen, even in that waiting period and even in that pretend role that you had, you're still learning shit. Okay? But you can say to yourself in this moment in time, all of this was not a waste. So there's no regret in that sense. I learned a lot by being in the other timeline. Now, however, I'm really am ready to quantum leap myself to a reality where everything goes my way. Just owing no explanation to anybody, like nobody's business, like it was like hopping from one train to another, just like that. Now, again, parenthesis here to keep this forever, to keep this stationary in your mind, to keep this, solidly as a foundation in your thinking, you're going to have to do some work. I mean, there's no way around it. But if you're willing to jump realities like in this moment in time to affect something, to affect someone, and see for yourself how by decision alone to jump to another timeline in which I'm not fretting, I'm not worrying, I'm celebrating. I'm being so happy that it came so easily. And whatever it happens to be, just go think about, not about how, but what. Don't worry about the how. What do you really want? It's so difficult for people to really zero in on what you want. They have all the tales of the town of how difficult it is and how difficult it's been. And for that, not for nothing, coaching, that's the, where you really get to vomit all of this out. Okay, but in the present moment, if you're not able to do that, leave that shit aside. Okay, and zero in on what are you hearing, what are you seeing, what are you witnessing, how did this person turn around now, what does the letter say now, what is that sum of money that's coming in, can you see it clearly in your bank account and whatever on a bank statement? Can you see clearly that check? Can you see clearly that person's face smiling at you? That's your job. Okay, you're the picture creator and the instrument which, when aligned with a certain timeline, i.e., frequency, every timeline has a frequency. The timeline that you ultimately want is one of ease. So, whenever you're out of alignment and you think that you need to discombobulate yourself, you need to buy into mama drama panorama, you need to be afraid, you need to worry, you need to be scared, know that that's a lie. It's a lie. You are learning something, but at the end of the day, what you're really learning is how powerful you are. You're that powerful that you can go to, again, a timeline where you will be playing a role of somebody who's waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Okay, that's fine. Had enough of waiting. Let's go to another timeline. What am I doing in this timeline? Who am I speaking to in this timeline? What kind of atmosphere is in this timeline? And that alone will give you alignment presto. It will be like, I don't need to worry about all this junk because all this other junk that I'm perceiving right now will disappear of its own accord because it cannot exist on the frequency of ease. It cannot exist on the frequency of accomplishment. It will vanish. It will be destroyed, if you will. And all that it took is for you to take a few minutes if you're in a difficult situation, especially at the moment, or something needs to be overturned, something needs to be something needs to come back with a decision that you prefer. Take a moment, even if you're in a crowded elevator, take a moment and go within. What do I want from this? Always come prepared with what kind of result do I want to receive? And what does it feel like? What does this frequency of accomplishment, of ease? It was easy. It came to me. I didn't have to fucking chase it. No, no. This is the world of grandeur. This is the world of victories. This is the world of accomplishment. How does it feel? This is how alignment feels. And if you're able to go there, I mean, watch the magic happen. Watch that glitch happen in the matrix in your favor, and you will command yourself and you will know how to do this every single time. Thank you very much for listening. Hope this was helpful to you. Until next time, ciao, ciao.